Hello and welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Thelma Okoro. Another day, another drama in the People's Democratic Party. The Supreme Court of Nigeria has struck out a suit filed by Ali Modu Sheriff, who is the chairman of the party, against the Ahmed McCarthy faction. Both men are tussling for the leadership of the party. The McCarthy-led faction had filed an appeal challenging the judgment of the Port Harcourt Division of the Court of Appeal, which affirmed the sheriff-led executive as the authentic leadership of the opposition party. The movement for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra, MASSOB, is celebrating what it calls the independence of Biafra. The celebration took place in Lagos State's Nigeria Southwest region. The group led by Ralph Wazurike says it has been pursuing non-violent means of achieving its aim in the last 17 years. The group held a peaceful procession in front of its secretariat in Surulere, Lagos. The group wants Igbos in Lagos and Nigeria to show support for the Biafra cause in a non-violent manner.
You know, MASSOB started since 1999, September 13. It was floated by Chief Dr. Ralph Wazurike to actualize independent state of Biafra, the former eastern Nigeria. So that struggle has been on since that time till now, and finally today is the celebration of our independence, which we have been angling for, and we are celebrating today. Today is May 22. We gave information to the world, or to many people, or people across the globe, that May 22, 2017, MASSOB, BIM, and the entire Biafran as a whole will celebrate Biafra independence. And we will ask our people to go to churches and give thanksgivings. Don't understand me? By May 30th, there have been inter-football matches between the component states that are made up of Biafra and those living in diaspora. They will play against each other, you know, to mark the celebration. The celebration of the independence will continue from today till 30th of May, and it will terminate with the inter-football matches.
I want to say to them that they should wake up from their slumber and join the progressive program that we have already brought to their doorstep. That program is Biafran sovereignty, Biafran nation. That is where we are now. We are now Biafra. We are free. We mark our independence today in accordance to the rule, the international rule that give us Biafra. Some people always ask questions. Are you sure you have gotten it? How do you get it right? It is an international law of a thing. So that's why we know that we have gotten it, because we are an insider. We have done the program and we have given ourselves pass mark, and we know that the world will join us to say you have passed it.
About 4 internally displaced persons have been reportedly killed by suspected Boko Haram militants. This follows an attack in Dalori, Maiduguri, Borno State, northeast Nigeria. During the attack, 2 other displaced persons were abducted by the militants. The displaced persons were reportedly beheaded while hunting outside the IDP camp. The Nigerian army says its troops fighting Boko Haram insurgents have killed 13 terrorists. 10 others engaged in smuggling in supplies for the group were also arrested in Borno State, northeast Nigeria. Those arrested include 6 female and 4 males. They are currently being interrogated by security forces in the region. The Nigerian Air Force has destroyed emerging Boko Haram logistics base in Sambisa Forest. A statement from the Air Force says the operation commenced when the force component of Operation Lafia Dole conducted an intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance mission in the Sambisa general area on May 16th. During that operation, several Boko Haram terrorists were also killed. Nigeria's Content Development and Monitoring Board wants local engineers to start dominating the nation's oil and gas sector before 2022. Executive Secretary of the board, Simbi Wabote, was speaking at a panel discussion organized to commemorate the Nigerian Content Week in Lagos. Our correspondent, Abiola Ismail, has all the details.
Content Act, enacted in April 22, 2010, provides for the development of Nigerian content in the Nigerian oil and gas industry, Nigerian content plan, supervision, coordination, monitoring and implementation of Nigerian content, and for the related matters. But before the enactment of the Nigerian Content Act in 2010, the overall local content value addition in the oil and gas industry was below 5%. Nigerian business in general suffered as Nigerian engineers and Nigerian engineering firms were denied opportunity for which they clearly had a capacity to execute. But it has been a new song 7 years after the Nigerian Local Content Act was enacted, and today the act was a major factor that changed the engineering landscape as local players are making remarkable stride and saving the country about $300 billion US.
Advent of the Nigerian content, a lot of jobs are done overseas. Today, specific aspect of every contract are domiciled in Nigeria. Fabrications are done in country. Do you know how many people will be employed on a particular fabrication yard? But if it's done overseas, few Nigerians will go over there. So these gains we have made, and now there is oil prices issue. That means there is likelihood of some of these jobs not being done in Nigeria. In case if the owner of the job feels it's cheaper for him to do these jobs elsewhere, how many Nigerians will go to those locations? But if it's done here, so we are not trying to look at it, being proactive to look at it, what will be the impact of this oil prices issue?
Here, the Executive Secretary, Nigerian Content Division Monitoring Board, Simbi Obote, represented by the board's Director, Monitoring and Evaluation, Tunde Adelano, said local engineers could successfully drive the oil and gas sector. He identified skill gap as the rising expatriates dominated the oil and gas industry, stressing the need for skill transfer to local engineers to take over. He emphasized the need for local engineers to acquire needed skills to reverse the expatriates' domination trend.
Engineering firms here today to review your strategy and reinvigorate your business development team to be better positioned to exploit these opportunities when they materialize. Form measures if you have to. Share resources if you have to. Do whatever legally possible to be prepared. Don't let these opportunities pass you by.
The Vice President, Business Development, Data Africa Engineering, Tunde Eleshin, said there was the need for the engineers to begin to manufacture things used in the oil and gas industry so that Nigeria can begin to industrialize our economy.
To be empowerment. Empowerment must happen. If empowerment doesn't happen, you are limited. Empowerment in mind, empowerment in resources, empowerment in giving opportunities to Nigerians, like how we've given opportunities to Nigerians.
The panelist said millions of jobs had been created and that the NSA was concerned about sustaining the achievement and improving on the gains of the national content. Abiola Ismail, TV360 Lagos.
A coroner inquest set up by the Osun State government to investigate the cause of death of Senator Isiaka Adeleke has fixed May 29th for its final verdict. The court commenced sitting on May 10th. 10 out of the 15 respondents summoned by the court have now appeared before it. The Adeleke family, however, refused to honor the invitation of the court, stating that the death of the senator was being politicized. Nigeria's acting president Yemi Osinbajo says suspension placed on the secretary to the government of the Federation, Babaji David Lawal, and Ayo Okid, who is the Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, still stands. His spokesman Laolu Akonde said the outcome of a panel set up to investigate both men will be made public in the near future. Lawal is under investigation following allegations of violation of law and due process in the award of contracts under the presidential initiative on the Northeast, while Oke is being probed after claiming that the 13 billion naira recovered by the EFCC in a building in Lagos State belongs to his agency. Governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, has set up a panel to probe Kayode Fayemi, his predecessor and current Minister of Solid Minerals and Development. This comes after the Ekiti State House of Assembly asked the governor to investigate alleged financial misappropriation under Fayemi. The panel, which was inaugurated in Ado-Ekiti, the state capital, has 3 months to submit its final report. Some parts of Lagos better prepare for a blackout. The Eco Distribution Company has announced a 5-day disruption of electricity supply in many parts of Lagos State from Wednesday, May 24th to Sunday, May 28, 2017. Affected areas will include Ikoyi, Victoria Island, and parts of Lagos Island. The company says the outage is to enable maintenance crew from the Transmission Company of Nigeria address technical and maintenance issues. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board (JAMB) says it will probe those involved in examination malpractice through its closed-circuit camera televisions. This was made known by the board's head of media and information, Fabian Benjamin. He says where there is any semblance of irregularities, the board will not hesitate to sanction the cheats.
Hello? Yeah, I found your wallet in front of a supermarket. Meet me at Apple Junction. Yes, I'll be waiting for you.
Now we find out. Two of us.
Thank you very much, officer. You know, it's surprising that men like you still exist in the police force.
Yes, so...
Oh, yes.
This is just a token of my appreciation.
Oh, no, you don't need to do this. We're only doing our job.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
You're welcome.
Now I know police is really my friend.
Yes.
Friend. Hey. Which came up with this one? I don't understand.
You know your problem. You are greedy. I'm a policeman who is doing his job. All forms of corruption in the force, not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
You're watching TV360 News now. To business stories, Nigeria's central bank has commenced its monthly policy committee at the nation's capital in Abuja. The CBN had retained the country's benchmark interest rate at 14% for the past 4 months. Ahead of the meeting, the bank announced plans to sell 100 million at a special wholesale spot and forwards auction to improve dollar liquidity and ease pressure on the naira. The naira was quoted at $3.15 a dollar on the official interbank market by commercial lenders, while it's trading at $3.80 a dollar on the black market. Oil prices rose on Monday, supported by confidence that top exporters will this week agree to extend supply curbs. Brent crude gained 48 cents at $54.09 per barrel, while U.S. crude was up 47 cents at $50.80 per barrel. Prices have risen on expectations that OPEC and other producers, including Russia, will extend for another 6 or 9 months a deal to cut supplies by 1.8 million barrels per day. The World Health Organization says a 4th person has likely died from the Ebola in the Republic of Congo. The overall number of cases has risen to 37 from 29 people. WHO's Congo spokesman Eugene Kambabi says health authorities are monitoring 416 people who came in contact with infected persons, and mobile labs have been dispatched to conduct tests on people who display symptoms of the virus. The president of war-ravaged South Sudan declared a ceasefire on Monday and promised to release political prisoners. But with no sign of a political deal with rebels, it was not clear whether a truce would take hold in the country. South Sudan has been mired in a civil war since 2013 when President Salva Kiir fired his deputy Riek Machar. The conflict fanned by ethnic rivalries has sparked Africa's worst refugee crisis since the 1994 Rwandan genocide and plunged part of the country into the severe famine. Moving on to sports stories now, Nigerian club Rivers United are backing on their impressive home form as they prepare to face Morocco's FUS Rabat in the group stages of the CAF Cup Confederations Cup. The 2016 MPFL runners-up will need to win a boost to chances of qualifying from the group stages after losing their first game. The match takes place on Wednesday this week. Barcelona is ready to reveal the identity of its new head coach. The coach will replace Luis Enrique at the Camp Nou. The Catalans' 4-2 victory over Eibar on Sunday night was not enough to stop Real Madrid from winning the title for the first time since 2012. Atletico Bilbao boss Ernesto Valverde is reportedly the front-runner to take the reins from Enrique. World number 2 Novak Djokovic has named for U.S. world number 1 Andre Agassi as his new coach. The Serbian's announcement comes less than 3 weeks after he would dismiss his entire coaching team due to poor form. The former world number 1 has endured a frustrating 2017 season and suffered a shock early exit at the Australian Open in January. The 30-year-old also lost the Italian Open final to German player Andre Zverev. That's all we have on news now. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Thelma Okuru.